because it was picking up from the screen of this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the T.O.A. podcast. I am your host, Onvermel, and this is take 2 on this podcast.
Take 2.
Yeah, we didn't realize the mic was actually not really plugged in, so it was just recording from the screen, so we had horrible audio. So
yeah, listening to it, I'm like, that doesn't sound normal.
And I do not have the editing abilities to make that sound much better. So we're trying this again. And so, for all you lovely folks, yeah, it's just me and Ek today. Zacta, we're doing this on a different day, so Zacta is not quite here. Scheduling issues kind of happened last week, but here we are. Today, the subject for you lovely viewers will be Bionicle in Ninjago. Ooh, tantalizing. Now, am I talking about something that actually is happening, or something that could happen?
It's mostly just wishful thinking at this point, but we also think it's a very good idea.
Exactly. I mean, basically, just last night we were talking, and about 20 minutes ago we were talking, that we were noticing a pattern with the newest wave of Ninjago coming out, that images were released, that they're basically going underwater.
It's like a new Aquazone theme, but it's just Ninjago.
I mean, the closest anyone's ever going to get to an Aquazone theme again.
Yeah, very true.
Which also reminds us, like, we haven't had a castle theme for a while, and yet Ninjago went castle, like with the Dungeons and Dragons style, like year. And before that, they had the Sky Pirates. Oh, look, pirates!
That video game wave was very, very spacey.
Yeah, there was a set that was literally a love letter to M-Tron in there.
There was a Blacktron stall.
Well, there's an M-Tron colored set with an M-Tron sticker as a spare sticker you can use. The Blacktron stall. There was a classic space helmet for Benny.
All the neon colors, like the neon green, the neon orange.
And I think the bad guys might have been called something Trons. No, they were just something boss. But either way, it got us thinking that I'm like, well, a lot of these themes that LEGO doesn't seem to really want to make anymore, because they either just don't sell or they just don't think will sell anymore, seem to be living on in Ninjago.
Or kind of creator too, but we're focusing on the Ninjago aspect.
Yeah, creator's doing a pretty good job with that sort of stuff, but Ninjago seems to be grabbing other themes to make itself last longer. First it's still ninja, obviously, and it's kind of kept going from there.
They're definitely focusing more on the go than the ninja these days.
And then there's even the second newest wave of stuff that basically had the island, like the enchanted island kind of looking. They basically looked like
Tiki warriors?
Yeah, basically, which is like, well, look, Islanders are brought back too. So you got all these things like Ninjago is kind of a vessel to bring all these other themes in. And I was thinking, why not Bionicle? And we came up with a pretty decent idea on how to do that. Picture this. The ninjas, using the Destiny's Bounty or whatever transportation they have now, they go searching off into sea and
they find some mysterious island.
And on said island, they come across biomechanical beings, or maybe just for the purpose of this, they'll just be mechanical beings, just to make it easier for the kiddies, So, mechanical beings. And, well, some of these guys, mechanical beings, can also use elemental powers. Although they're not friendly, but we'll get to that. We will get that. They're not friendly. And, basically they're hunting down. They realize that these beings, maybe there's a couple friendly ones, that they are basically mind controlled.
They have these helmets or maybe this kind of like mask thing
on their face that's controlling them. That they all have they go searching for. They realize that these guys had different ones before, and
that if they knock off the ones they're currently wearing, they're not fighting them anymore. They're good guys now.
So they go on a scavenger hunt to find all the 6 generals of the bad guys' army to get them their old masks so that they return to the good side, and then they all team up and fight the evil villain who's the evil Makuta. So essentially, yeah, the T.O.A. have infected masks.
In a nutshell.
And so you got the collectathon of the masks to find, 6 used masks. All of them would probably originally have like infected Kakamas, because Makuta would have infected Hao, and they would all thumb them, or they would come up with new mask design for the infected ones for the T.O.A. And they may have some generic bad guys. And then underneath on helmets, you can have them all the same mask face print to have what's called T.O.A. Now, one thing we did just discuss recently was to make them more like equals to the ninjas to make it more interesting, because people who can use elemental powers versus the elemental masters, this would be pretty cool. And we think is like, okay, well, the T.O.A kind of have a couple redundancies. They have ice and water, which I guess Nia's water, so that's fine. But they have stone and earth, which Cole both has. And we were thinking we might cut out a Nua because Makuta's also black. But thinking about it now, they would have to do some tweaking. Maybe make Liwa basically back to jungle, or they can keep him air. I'm not sure if that's actually an elemental master of jungle in Ninja. Is there a jungle master?
He's the master of green.
No. There's a jungle master. It's Bolo or Bordo, Bobo.
I don't know.
It's that it's the hippie looking guy with the beard that I had with that one set. I can't remember his name.
I know the minifigure you're talking about, but I don't know the character.
Okay, let me preface. I actually have watched majority of Ninjago, but it's been a while, so I'm a fan, but I'm not like a hardcore fan. So there's a lot of
I've seen sporadic stuff here and there.
There's a lot of stuff I don't remember, such as most of the Elemental Masters' names. I've watched from like up to season 6, I think. I'm behind. I basically watch them as they come out on DVD, which is usually like a good year or two late, I swear. But the idea is like Bionicle could live in there. You know, you got like, I've seen people make system prints for Bionicle characters, and like I say, it gives a collectathon. It gives like a bad guy. You got elements versus elements. And if you really want to make it more fun, you can have Lloyd basically get, after everyone's saved, and the village elders basically honor Lloyd with the title of T.O.A, making him the 7th T.O.A. And he briefly glows gold like he used to.
If you need more incentive for the bad guy side, the T.O.A people can drive monstrous things that look awfully similar to Rahi. Let's face it, half the Rahi had wheels already anyways.
I just now pictured Tahu driving like a giant candy raw bull, like in but you know what? That would actually be a really good idea for the vehicles, like half creature, basically just the Rahi, but with wheels.
Just stick a minifig on it, and you're already done.
You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. Having vehicles that look a lot like the Rahi. So you would have Liwa with like a flying Rama machine.
Very nice, very nice.
Gali would also have some like Tarkava boxing machine. I feel like they would.
Maybe something a little more shark-like.
It might be like a bit down, but have like punching hands that go out and out. But basically, just like grab the Tarkava, but bring it down and leave it down there.
I think Tarkov are actually somewhat inspired by crocodiles I've seen.
Lizards, crocodile, yeah. And then maybe like Plot would be riding some crazy scorpion contraption. Tao would have the Kenny Raw Bowl.
Even though he hates scorpions.
I mean, and then like I would say Nua would get a mana-like creature.
A big old crab? Yeah, that works.
And then give Kopaka like a snow tiger or something. You know, tigers are long. Like, basically, you can give him like all these Rahi vehicles that are similar to the Rahi sets from 2001. And Ninjago loves its vehicles. And fans, would like this.
It's like a match made in Bionicle and Ninjago heaven.
So, and then it's like, you also got like, you would have 6 new molds for helmets. The 6 T.O.A, you would have a reprint for Makuta that would be Tahu's, and his would probably come in the big set for it. And then maybe a recolor of Pohatu's for all the evil guys to have, or just come up with another one. I don't know. Ninjago can do several new molds, so maybe those the only new molds they make, are just the masks?
They could have an additional new armor piece that maybe looks kind of like the Nuva armor if you really want.
I mean, well, I'd be happy if they didn't, but I would accept it. That'd be kind of cool. Well,
you just take the armor piece off and wow, it looks like a Mata now.
No, that's actually a smart idea. Like in their general form, when they're in control by the mask, they're like the Makuta's generals, where they have like the infected mask with the Nuva armor, and then you take those off and give them the old mask, and boom, Mata T.O.A. I think so. But the reason why we're kind of looking at Ninjago also with this is Ninjago fans, a lot of people who like Ninjago are also Bionicle fans, or a lot of Bionicle fans became Ninjago fans, so there's a lot of crossover there. So you wouldn't have to be pleasing as many people. You still have like all these Ninjago fans. Sure, there'd be plenty of Bionicle fans who would be I would be like, oh, that's not Bionicle, I'm not going to buy it. But who cares? It's not so much a reboot of Bionicle, but it's Bionicle in another universe. Which I'm kind of surprised Ninjago hasn't referenced Bionicle in some form, because they have
Other than like all the obvious stickers they have.
okay, but those are only in sets. The sets have reference Bionicle in at least like 2-3 sticker sheets with like about 4 or 5 stickers, like with Mad Nui, Gen 2 writing, the Moop or Mask of Ultimate Power, and a couple others. But in the show, it's never referenced now. Now you might think, why would they? Well, let me tell you, they reference Chima. You literally see Chima character in a scene in Ninjago where they're falling through portals through different like dimension worlds or whatever, I can't remember what it's called, and you see the Chima cast, and then they move on. And I'm kind of surprised they haven't done that with like Bionicle, where they randomly just fall on a beach, like, you know, maybe you see a clip image of a beach with like, I don't know, maybe a canister just sitting there and then move on. No reference, nothing. And I'm like, hey, maybe this is a way that they can do it. And the thing is, at this point, we have mostly accepted that Bionicle isn't going to come back in a full wave. I really can't ever happen, can you?
No.
Because, like, Lego's never going to put all their eggs in one Bionicle basket again. Like, I think that time's best.
Maybe in some sort of system theme. Maybe.
But I feel like Ninjago would have to die for that first.
And it's not dying.
So, but Bionicle can do what another theme has done. And that theme, technically, is Classic Space. You may be thinking, oh, come on, Classic Space has never really died. It doesn't... What are you talking about? Well, look at it this way.
That's our point exactly. It's never died.
However, Lego's never made a Classic Space theme again. Like, yeah, Lego, like, the Classic Space when it first came out just kept morphing into different themes of space. But Classic Space, like, specifically, has lived on in many different forms of references in, like, other space themes, collectible minifigs, ideas sets, Lego movie, other promotional stuff, such as the coin. Like, Classic Space just keeps living on by leeching off other stuff, which is fine. That makes Classic Space fans happy, and it is keeping it alive and those people happy. Why can't Bionicle do the same? It's like one of the most, as the Ideas program proved, it is way more popular than people give it credit for.
Classic Space also lives in stuff like Creator, but I doubt you'd see a Creator Bionicle mixture.
Exactly. Like, Creator can do Castle fans happy. Like, they just released the Castle, and holy crap, does that look
Well,
good.
they just unveiled it. It's released June 1st. Ooh, it looks very nice.
Honestly, that castle looks like one of the best since, like, the Royal Knight Castle. Like, honestly.
I would say it's one of the most majestic-looking castles.
It's one of the most realistic-looking castles.
But we're getting off topic here.
A little off topic, but, you know, like I said, Bionicle can't live in Creator, which has basically given Space and Castle and Pirates a little bit of new life. So may as well go to maybe Ninjago, because Ninjago seems to be giving some other themes like new life, like Pirate Islanders, which are both pirate, but you get my drift. You know, like, other stuff is living on because of Ninjago. And so why can't Bionicle?
The latest one being essentially Aquazone or Atlantis or Aqua Raiders, whichever what have you. The underwater vehicle subset.
Exactly. But there are other options that like Bionicle has tried to survive on with, like, ideas it has attempted and has failed. I mean, it hasn't failed yet, but we know Lego's not going to choose Bionicle. And then there's the AFOL Bricklink set program, which Sakota's model is in the review. Not the review, but like the preparation stage where it hasn't been like canned yet. We should be hearing something about that, I think, by the end of the month. Like, I think by June 1st is basically when we'll hear about which ones make it past the first round.
With the Bricklink?
Yeah.
I know that I think it was like goes to May 31st.
So basically June 1st we'll hear basically which ones made it.
Maybe. I don't know if it'll take that quickly.
Good point. I mean, it won't take that much, but so it's trying to, but like the thing is about that is we don't even know if it'll make it through there. So, you know, that's a hit and miss. And then you have Ninjago, which we were saying, like, I think there is a possibility or a opportunity to have.
Yes, opportunity is the prime word we're looking for.
Because the 2001 story in Bionicle is, you know, it's contained enough in a bottle that you can make it work. I mean, look, Gen 2 basically took the 2001 story and reworked it as well. You can rework it into a Ninjago 1 year arc as a place, as a centerpiece. I mean, there's another option that we have thought that Bionicle could survive in that's a bit more catered to Bionicle, and that is collectible minifigs. Because Lego has made a lot of people happy with collectible minifigs.
Classic Space and Blacktron fans especially.
I mean, look, they've had a Fright Night fig, Johnny Thunder. They've had space figs like Blacktron. Those are some very high profile, like, very pop things.
Very much catering to a certain specific AFOL audience, I would say.
And why not make a Bionicle minifig? Like, simply let's go Tahu, the poster boy of Bionicle. As a figure's own, he might have cool print that other people will be like, okay, but even if only the Bionicle fans want him, look at collectible minifigs. There's always at least one minifig that most people don't want. There's always that one character that's basically just a stat filler that you find like 4 in a box that like you always come across like, oh, look, another red brick guy, or oh, look, another dog trainer.
I think if done right, minifig Tahu would appeal to a lot of people regardless. You could just be this cool robot fire warrior dude.
And that's the thing about collectible minifigs. They never specifically call them what they are, because the Alpha Agent, he was just called Secret Agent. It was Dash.
Very generic, but very obvious who he is supposed to be. Why haven't they done Ogle yet? I don't know.
Because Ogle is perfect as a minifig. You cannot improve him.
Yeah.
But, like they said, they've had Alpha Team survive in collectible minifigs as well. So, why not have a Bionicle collectible minifig? I mean, the biggest problem I would see is if they made a Tahu, fans would be clamoring and wishing for the rest of the 6. Which they could just keep releasing like 1 or 2 per wave.
Because, if he does seem to be a popular one, just release a couple the next wave, a couple more the next wave, and then, another one the last wave or whatever.
And if you're really worried about people not buying it, make them the rarer ones. Which I would be annoyed with. I mean, I only need 1. I don't need like 2 Taus, but...
Yeah, what do you need more for? Unless, it's a kind of cool mold and you want to, like, paint them and to make other characters.
Like painting a mask infected.
Ooh.
But I'm like, the idea is just, they could make Bionicle live on other ways. Like, I think this is a bit the best way that Bionicle's going to live is by leeching off other stuff where it'll never be the main focus of a theme. The best we can do is being half the focus of a Ninjago theme, which I don't think Lego's ever going to do, but it's an idea that we came up with and we thought would be really... It's basically an easier, cheaper way for them to basically appease Bionicle fans because, like I said, a lot of Bionicle fans are also Ninjago fans. People may not have joined Bionicle in 2001, but let's say the Bionicle fans joined in 2004. Well, after Bionicle and Hero Factory were done, they probably just jumped around to Ninjago. Like, even me, I do like Ninjago. I have no real problem.
The show's pretty good, even though I haven't seen a lot of it.
I've generally kept up with the show as much as I can, but I'm always like 2 years behind. And that's just because only way I can watch the show is by buying it on DVD, because I don't have any like other methods of watching it. So I generally only get it when I see it on DVD, which takes a really long time. Like, you basically are always 2 seasons behind. So I should actually be looking out for those. Like, actually check up to see if I can find. Because I think I'm like 4. Let's see. I'm the in-game, the computer game, the board game, the one with Clutch Powers. That's another thing Ninjago survived and they brought back, which is cool.
A very surprising one. I'm very glad we got a minifig, even though it's, little he's a little worn looking.
Johnny Thunderified, Clutch Powers. So, but yeah, again, like, look, Ninjago brought a minifig who, honestly, Lego should have the original Clutch Powers from, like, the Clutch Powers movie as a minifig, or Rocket Racer. But, I'm just saying, there's some characters that Lego should really consider making into, or what they could do is Jack the Lego Maniac as a minifig. That would be interesting.
We could have another discussion someday about minifigs we would really like to see as collectible minifigs.
Yes. Well, we'll leave that probably for another day. But going back, to Bionicle and Ninjago. Where was I actually with that? No, it's like, I think it's the, because, like, it's like, and, like, it's not the first time that, or even if it was just in the show, Bionicle's reference, I think that would help a little bit. Because, like, shows can, like, Lego has made references to older themes in shows before, such as Nexonites.
Nexonites had a show where there was...
Golden Castle, I believe the episode
Yes, they talked about a golden castle, and sort of like a play stage they're putting on, but the uniforms they have are those from the very first castle Lego did, the 375 castle, or as most people know it, the Yellow Castle.
Exactly. I mean, I believe it was basically in the universe. It was like a comic book series based on like old ancient tales. Or I think in the show there was an argument whether or not they were real stories or not. But they were basically making a movie about like rebooting a movie to be edgy and whatnot. Which, but they basically it gave quite a good love letter to the fans who like the classic castle. And even if Ninjago did something to that, like with Bionicle, because Ninjago is a universe where you have ghosts, you have stone warriors, you have you have sky pirates, you have snake people, you have ice mummies,
Ninjroids.
you have all these weird characters. If you said they were just random like robot cyborgs,
Living on some tropical island.
would that really be so weird? Like honestly, I don't think that'd be that weird.
Look, they're now fighting snakes underwater, or eels, I guess they would be.
I mean, I think the weirdest part about it would be the fact that you would know what Bionicle is, so it actually feels like a crossover rather than just a new thing. But this wouldn't be a crossover to Bionicle. This would be Bionicle reimagined and repurposed for something else, where it still holds true to what Bionicle is, and it's obviously like, oh, this is Bionicle, but is reused and repurposed for another thing that's more easily accessible for fans. And maybe, it'll bring old fans, new fans interested in Bionicle, because they'll look at this and go, whoa, what was this? And then old fans go, well, I'll tell you, little Timmy, you see that? That was Bionicle. I'll show you my old toys. I'll go to my basement and bring them out, assuming they still have them.
Or in my case, it might be like, open up the closet.
But, yeah, no, when we thought of, I'm not sure even which one of us thought about, when we thought about this, it was just like a mind-blowing idea.
I think I brought up the idea first, and then we both just took it and ran with it.
And we just thought, it worked. I think it would work surprisingly well. Let's be honest, a Ninjago theme doesn't need that much thinking into it. You get bad guys, you get a collectathon, and you're good. The thing about this is, you need to get the T.O.A's masks to basically replace their infected ones so that they can be good again. You basically have one collectible for 6 different sets. Now,
it fulfills both Ninjago Collectathon and Bionicle Collectathon.
Exactly. And if they really wanted to make it feel a little less Bionicle, like I said, the infected mask that all the T.O.As wear, you could make a different, unique design where it's like
they did with Gen 2. It's a Skull Spider mask.
Exactly, something like where it's a unique design, or just do recolors of one of the masks. All of them have an infected version of their mask, which, that would be. Imagine an infected Cow and an infected Miru on. Lee would have to have an infected Miru. Of course he would.
Yeah.
Also, what they could do is have Leo be one of the first ones that they save, and he helps them get Leo's mask off because it has to do that.
That would work great for the show.
Be beautiful. So, yeah, that's been the discussion about this. I think because Ninjago not only has the weird universe, the weird premises, and is also catered to Bionicle the most with their sticker sheets, for references, I think the best chance Bionicle is to survive or be referenced again is in Ninjago. And I think this idea has a lot of merit to it. And I'm hoping you guys think the same. I mean, there's only not that many people going to be listening to this, but I think you guys might agree if you guys like Bionicle. I'd love to hear what you guys think, because I'm actually being serious. Other times when I say this, I'm more doing please just comment on the video. I need the algorithm to like me. But this one, I'm actually kind of curious what people are going to think. So yeah, please actually comment if you have an opinion on Bionicle living in Ninjago. And I think that's all we probably have tonight. Any other thoughts there, Ek? Or do you think you're done?
Someone give me a hotline to Lego itself, because I need to tell them this idea.
Yes. So,
but I don't speak Danish, so I hope they speak English.
I'm sure they do, my friend. I'm sure they do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the T.O.A. Podcast. Thank you for listening. Please consider subscribing if you like our contact, and contact. Don't like my contact. Don't phone me, please. If you like our content. I'm fumbling over my words all day. But this is the end of the podcast. Thank you for watching. And we are retiring from the night.